Okay, starting on page 109, linking to resources on the internet. In the tips file, Jerry has listed some of the websites he finds useful in his study of photography. He would like to change the entries in this list to hypertext links that his readers can link to quickly access the sites. Okay, to create links, you need to know the URL, which is the Uniform Resource Locator, which if you're ever on Jeopardy, that might come in handy. And it specifies the location and type of a resource on the internet. Okay, some examples would be whitehouse.gov, www.w3.org for the Worldwide Consortium for Websites. Okay, there's a protocol, which is a set of rules defining how information is passed between two devices. Your web browser communicates with web servers using the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP. Therefore, the URLs for all web pages must start with the HTTP scheme. Other resources use different communication protocols and thus have different scheme names. Okay. You can see there's the file protocol. It's used to access documents stored locally on a user's computer. FTP, access documents stored on an FTP server. HTTP, access websites. HTTPS, access web pages over a secure encrypted connection, which usually occurs when you're shopping. And mail to is for an email client. So linking to a website, the URL would be http:// name of the server, path, file name, and then hashtag ID. So they give you examples of the URL. Protocol, most of the time, is http:// the server / the path / the file, hashtag, and then an ID. Okay, so you might notice that a URL like http:// www.camshots.com doesn't include any path or file name. If a URL doesn't specify a path, then it indicates the top folder in the server's directory tree. If a URL doesn't specify a file name, the server returns the default homepage. Many servers use index.html as the file name for the default homepage. So the URL http:// www.camshots.com /index.html would be equivalent to http:// www.camshots.com. Okay, understanding domain names, top page 111. The server name portion of a URL is also called the domain name. By studying a domain name, you learn about the server hosting the website. Each domain name contains a hierarchy of names separated by periods with the top level appearing at the end. The top level, called an extension, indicates the general audience supported by the web server. For example, .edu is the extension reserved for educational institutions, .gov is for the government, .com is for commercial sites. The next lower level appearing before the extension displays the name of the individual organization hosting the site. The domain name camshots.com indicates a commercial or general use owner by Camshots. To avoid duplicating domain names, the top two levels of the domain must be registered with the Internet Assigned Numbers Authority before they can be used. You can usually register your domain name through your web host. Be aware that you must pay an annual fee to keep the domain name. The lowest levels of the domain, which appear farthest to the left in the domain name, are assigned by the individual or company hosting the site. Large websites involving hundreds of pages typically divide their domain names into several levels. For example, a large company like Microsoft might have one domain name for file downloads, downloads.microsoft.com, and another for customer service. Finally, the first part of the domain name displays the name of the hard drive or resource storing the website's files. Many companies have standardized on www as the initial part of their domain name. So you can see down there he's got 4 pages he wants his readers to be able to access that are on the internet, and the domains are the URLs are provided. You can see the href tag at the bottom of page 111. That's how it should be keyed. So you've got your resource there, or reference, at the top, page 112. So let's go ahead and do this on the tips.html page. We're going to scroll to the bottom of the file and locate the definition list containing the list of websites. So right down here is the definition list. Okay, and we're going to mark the entry for emoji photo as a hypertext link. Okay, so right after, it's in the DT tab actually, right here after the semicolon. So after the semicolon, let's go ahead and type in href equals quotes http://www.apogeeaphoto.com quotes greater than symbol to end the opening DT tag. And then this is nested. Okay, that A tag is inside the DT tag, so we have to end it here. End the A tag, and then the D tag is ended. So I'm going to copy this A tag, and I'm going to paste it into the where the other links will be. There's 3 other ones. And then I'm also going to copy this ahref all the way to the greater than sign. And I'm going to start here. And then we just have to change the middle part of that URL. So outdoor I'm going to come down here, Control V, and change this. Oops, don't double click. Change this in between the periods there to DPMAG, and then this one here to POPPHOTO.com. Okay, and then when you're done with that, let's go ahead and save it. And now we're going to go to the browser and refresh it. Actually, probably need to be on the tips page, I guess. I'll refresh it. And now you can see that there are links. Now let's go ahead and click it and make sure that it actually goes to those pages. That one works. Pretty sure this one's going to work. Yep, took a little longer. Digital photo, that works, and popular photography and imaging, and that one works. So now you know how to link to other web pages. Take a look at page 114. Linking to an FTP server. Another method of storing and sharing files on the internet is through FTP servers. FTP servers are file servers that act like virtual file cabinets in which users can store and retrieve data files, much as they store files on and retrieve files from their own computer. FTP servers transfer information using a common protocol called File Transfer Protocol. The URL to access an FTP server follows the general format FTP : instead of HTTP : where server is the name of the FTP server and path is the folder path on the server that contains the files you want to access. When you access an FTP site, you can navigate through its folder tree as you would navigate the folders of your own hard disk. Take a look at figure 241. You can see what it looks like. That's what an FTP looks like. It's a lot of files there. You can click on any of those links and it will bring a pop-up box and like your own folder. Okay, FTP servers require each user to enter a password and a username to gain access to the server's files. The standard username is anonymous and requires no password. Your browser supplies this information automatically, so in most situations you don't have to worry about passwords and usernames. However, some FTP servers do not allow anonymous access. In these cases, either your browser prompts you, okay, and they show you what that looks like. Linking to a local file. HTML is a very useful language for creating collections of linked documents. Many software developers have chosen to distribute their online help in the form of HTML files. The websites for these help files that exist locally on a user's computer or network. If a website needs to reference local files as opposed to files on the internet or another wide area network, the URLs need to reflect this fact. The URL for a local file has the general form file : okay, and then you can see some examples. There's linking to an email address. There's the code for that. And notice, okay, we're going to come here to link to an email address on Jerry's home page. So let's go ahead and go to home.htm. Okay, and then go to the first paragraph and locate the text contact me. Right here, please contact me. Okay, and we're going to put the, right after please, we're going to put the code in. So it's href equals quotes. And then it's the email address. Question mark. Subject equals. That's a 0. And then the closing, and then after contact me, we're going to close the A tag, just like that. I'm going to save it, Control S, come here to my browser. I'm going to go up to the top and click home. And now I can see there's a link, and if you were to click that, it probably is going to open it with Outlook. I know it is, yeah, and I'm going to cancel that. That's typically what happens. But if you want to use that for like your Gmail, you can point at it, right click, and do copy email address, and then go to your Gmail, and then you can paste it in. So email links and spam. Use caution when adding email links to your website. While it may make it more convenient for users to contact you, it might also make you more vulnerable to spam, unsolicited email. Okay. They create what's called email harvesters to scan HTML code for the email addresses contained in mail to URLs. Many web developers have removed email links from their websites in order to foil these harvesters, replacing the links with web forms that submit email requests to a secured server. If you need to include an email address as a link on your web page, you can take a few steps to reduce your exposure to spammers. You can replace the text of the email addresses with inline images that are more difficult for email harvesters to read. You can write a program to scramble an email addresses in the code. You can replace the characters of the email address with escape characters. For example, you can replace the @ symbol with the escape sequence %40. No quick and easy solution. Fighting spammers is an ongoing battle. As you develop your website, consider how to handle email addresses.